Hi everybody, welcome back to my doll collecting channel. I wanted to make a quick video about my American Girl doll wish list for 2022. So I originally wanted to publish this video before or after publishing all my dolls videos or finishing all my dolls series, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do that because I am actually living out of town right now due to going to college. So I'm actually five hours away from my doll collection, and so for now I'm going to be doing kind of like videos like these where I'm going to be talking about my wish lists, maybe ranking videos, and many other videos like this in the future. So for now I'm going to be talking about dolls that I would probably wish to get for my doll collection in the future, but the list does sometimes change between the years, so I would like to kind of talk about what I would like for this year. Alrighty, so the first doll I would like to get for my doll collection would obviously be the new historical character Claudia Wells. I'm sorry the picture is kind of like darkened in the background. This was the only picture I could find without a white background. Oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, I would love to get Miss Claudia Wells. She is absolutely darling. I love her new face mold, and I really, really like her curls. They look kind of similar to Cecile's, but I would definitely like to compare both my Cecile doll and my Claudia doll together to see kind of their differences. I definitely know that she does not have a Sonali mold. She has a custom face mold, which is really amazing. But yeah, so I thought about picking her up not that long ago when I went to the Dallas American Girl doll store, but I decided actually to wait. I had my best friend tell me, she's like, you should just wait. You never know what's gonna happen. And I'm really glad I did because I do have a doll that I would like to open in the future. I don't know exactly when I'm gonna do this, but probably within a few weeks or so, I'll open one of my newest dolls, which I'm glad I saved up for. So anyway, I would definitely like to get Miss Claudia Wells within probably this year, hopefully, but if not, that's going to be okay with me. But I do hope to get her pretty soon. Alrighty, so here's Miss Nanea. I believe there was multiple reasons why I didn't obtain her sooner, even though I do wish to own all of the historical dolls ever released by American Girl. I believe reason number one was at the time she debuted in 2017, she and other dolls came with permapanties, so I believe that was one of the reasons I didn't pick her up when she first debuted. Number two was a big reason. I learned not too long ago that sometimes it takes me a while to get used to new face molds, and I remember when she first debuted, I thought she looked a lot like a Welly Wisher. And so for the longest time I thought this, but I have changed my mind since then, thank goodness, because I do think she is very stunning, especially in person. She has absolutely beautiful hair and stunning eyes. The last reason too has to be is because I wasn't too big into island themed dolls. I know that's really not very great, but it is the truth. I kind of grew up with my mom always kind of placing beach items and island themed items around our house, and so I just wasn't in love with kind of that look. But nowadays I really think that she's more than that. Like, her Hawaiian culture and items and clothing and things like that is to be celebrated and admired. So again, I've completely changed my mind, and I'm so glad I have, because I really do want to get her pretty soon. So yeah. Alrighty, so the next doll on my wish list is actually going to be a best friend doll for the Girl of the Year line. So Chrissa was Girl of the Year of 2009, but she came with two friends, Gwen and Sonali, and these dolls are kind of hard to find recently, especially if in new box condition. But I would really like to get Gwen. I think that she's a really important character in Chris's stories, and I think she's a really cute doll. But yeah, she's definitely one of the dolls I'd like to get. Maybe this year, but if not, I would definitely get her next year. I'm not too sure. She's just a doll I've always feel like I need to get because I have a Chrissa doll and she's missing her friend. Alrighty, so the next doll on my list is going to be 2010 Girl of the Year doll, which is Laney. So I remember really being in love with her cute little meat outfit and her cute little shoes and a lot of her other items in her collection. But unfortunately, I just wasn't enthused to buy her at the time when she released in 2010. And the main reason is because her character was really involved with like science and nature themes, and unfortunately that's just not one of my favorite hobbies. Personally, I am actually kind of allergic to every grass pollen and tree pollen ever. So, unfortunately, that doesn't make me a good candidate to be a type person to spend a lot of time outside with nature, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's the main reason why I didn't pick up Laney at the time. But I do have the goal to basically collect all the Girl of the Year dolls ever in the American Girl line, and she's definitely a doll I do not have in my collection and like to get pretty soon. Alrighty, so the next doll I would like to obtain in the future would be Girl of the Year of 2012, which is McKenna. So I have a quick little story to tell you. So I remember actually trying to obtain her. I believe it was around October or November, kind of the end of the year. And I remember I went to the American Doll store in Dallas to ask about picking her up, and they told me sadly she was sold out. I remember being very sad about this. But yeah, I really wish that I was able to get her sooner in the year 2012. But it was a really interesting year that time in my life. So I believe this was the year I was graduating high school, getting into college. So I was kind of all over the place whether I should get her or not. And I really felt like I was starting to get convinced by the growing AG videos of all her openings and things like that, or a lot of videos about opening McKenna. So I remember, yeah, just wanting to get her near the end of the year, and she was already sold out. And I was really sad about that. And I kept telling myself, one day I'm going to get her, I'm going to get her, but she has been kind of hard to find. She is hard to find, brand new in condition on secondary markets, but I do hope I will get lucky soon. We'll see when exactly I'll get her. I'm hoping to get her possibly next year, though. We'll see. It just depends on the deal. I might be able to find her one day, being sold on a secondary market, hopefully. Alrighty, so the next doll on my list would be lovely Corinne. So I planned to get her within the year she was available or when she premiered, but unfortunately I've kind of put her in the back burner, and I feel really bad about that because she is a really beautiful doll. She has a beautiful unique face mold, and I actually think her colored hair is really interesting because they're more like highlights. And I think she's just a really sweet, beautiful doll, and I'm really interested to read her books. But yeah, I just thought that this year I'd be able to buy her, but I have to say one of the things that kind of stopped me from buying her this year is, I've been getting good deals on finding retired American Girl dolls, but mostly Girl of the Year dolls that I never thought I'd be able to get recently. But what I mean to say is, I also realized that, I have a bit of time to get her, which is a good thing. I remember in the past when Girl of the Year dolls would only be available for just that 1 year. And it's really cool that I have some time to grab her before she's officially retired. Everyone's a little different on their opinions about whether some Girl of the Year dolls should last or they should have stock of them after the year they debut. But I think it's great having like 2 to 3 years to possibly get some of these dolls, because again, things happen, things change, and sometimes like dolls that I expect to pick up in a certain time frame doesn't happen, and Corinne's one of them. But I'm confident I'm going to get her. I don't know when exactly, but I really wanted to finish my other doll wants first, specifically more retired dolls, and then get her pretty soon. But she's a beautiful doll, and she is definitely a doll I would like to get within maybe the next year or so. So we'll see. I'm pretty confident I'm going to be able to get her because she's still going to be available for maybe another year or two at American Girl, which is really fortunate for me. Alrighty, so the next doll I would like to get on my wish list would be McKenna from the World by Us doll line from American Girl. So I remember when she first premiered, along with Yvette and Maritza, or Maritza, some people like to pronounce that doll's name. I remember I had to warm up to both McKenna and Maritza's face mold just because it was new, it was different than what I was used to seeing growing up. But ever since then, I have fallen in love with them. They are just so beautiful, and I love the fact that their doll line is pushing for inclusion and diversity, and I think that's just really important for American Girl to push for young girls and things like that, and their stories seem to be talking about really, really important topics to all of us. So I just think that's really interesting, and I would definitely like to get McKenna, Yvette, and Maritza. Really luckily, what pushed me to kind of want to buy the dolls in recent years is because my best friend actually bought me Maritza for my birthday, and I just have fallen in love with her, and I actually really liked reading her book, getting to know her, and I feel like she needs her friends, specifically McKenna and also Yvette. So yeah, I would definitely like to get her pretty soon. I'm not too sure when I will get Cutie Patootie McKenna, but I hope it's pretty soon. She's just a really beautiful doll, and I would be so proud to have her in my collection. Alrighty, so who's also on my wish list is going to be beautiful Yvette from the World by Us doll line also. You know, I wasn't too sure about getting her at first. I thought that, she had kind of a typical face mold, and I was a little bit worried about her hair. I've heard a lot of things about her very, very curly wig. But since then, I do think she's really pretty. I do think that, the Josefina face mold looks wonderful on her, and she has really beautiful eyes. And I also learned that if you're going to have her hair, it's best to just kind of have her as display only. It could be hard to repair. That's just what some individuals have said. Some others who actually know how to take care of really good type of wig, they do really well at repairing this type of doll's hair. But I would like to have her in my collection. I just think that, McKenna and also Maritza would be really sad if I don't get Yvette because, they are a little team, and I think it'd be really cute to have all three of them in my collection one day. So the next doll I would like to get is kind of a surprise because I don't normally collect too many Truly Me dolls, or Just Like You dolls, as I've been calling them since my childhood. But I would personally love to get this beautiful number 49. I think she is gorgeous. I remember when she came out in the early 2010s, I had her on a list to get one day after I was done collecting historical dolls and even some Girl of the Year dolls, but time has passed and she has unfortunately retired. So she's a doll that I definitely would like to get within probably the next few years. I'm not too sure again, just because I do want to complete my Girl of the Year line first and then get into my next phase of doll collecting, which is going to be collecting retired Truly Me or Just Like You or Girl of Today dolls. One quick story I'd like to tell you about obtaining a 49. I almost did obtain a 49 during this year's benefit sale. I had her in my cart with my number 26 and my Gabriella doll, and what happened is I went to check out literally maybe less than a minute since the benefit sale was open for all to make their purchases and check out, and she sold out. She sold out incredibly fast, and I was very disappointed, but at the same time, I feel like if I'm meant to get a 49, I will get a 49. And I'm also confident that maybe if I want to try the benefit sale again next year, maybe she might be there also again, so I might have another chance of obtaining a number 49. We'll see, but she is on my list. I have not decided what to name her yet. I've thought of many different names. There used to be an older YouTuber that had this doll when she premiered in the early 2010s, and she named her Skylar. I thought about naming my 49 Skylar, but I'm actually in between two names right now. If you would like to suggest names for her, definitely leave them in the comments because my names I have for her, if I get her, are going to be Jimena or Elena. I'm not too sure. I actually really like both. I'm stuck. If you'd like to recommend me more names for her, I'd greatly appreciate it. But yes, she is a doll I would like to get. Maybe within the next year or two, I'd say. She is definitely on my top tier of getting for my Truly Me collection. Alrighty, so the last doll on my wish list is going to be this absolutely beautiful number 4. So she is a doll that I saw growing up that I always wanted to get, and I always put her on that back burner saying, if I'm done with collecting historicals and some girl of the year dolls, I'm going to get her one day. And unfortunately, she also retired before my eyes, and I feel really bad about not being able to get this beautiful number 4. I have noticed that her price has completely skyrocketed in secondary markets, and some people like to sell her for $200 to $400, $500 even used. So this doll might be very hard for me to get, but I do hope to get her in the future. I have thought about actually asking some Facebook American Girl groups to see if anyone has a used number 4 they would like to hopefully sell to someone who's going to take very good care of her and love her. But, I hope one day I'm going to be able to get her. She is on the list to absolutely get for my Truly Me line. She is that number 1 tier I would love to get. I'm a little worried about getting her. I would love to get her in the best condition possible, but I also realize that some people just don't take good care of their older Truly Me or Just Like You dolls. And it's something I've come to terms with. I might have to get her used, and that is okay with me. But I hope one day I will be able to find the most beautiful number 4. I definitely need some recommendations for names for her when I do get her because I am completely stuck. I've thought of so many names for this beautiful number 4, but I feel like I have to see her in person to decide what name fits her best. But I would love some suggestions if you have any for me in the comments. So again, thank you so much everybody for sticking around and watching my 2022 doll wish list.